What?
Entire ecosystems are collapsing.
Oh, the panel is back. Oh my goodness! People thought we got put in Biden's prison for dissonance over the holiday, but no, we survived. We broke out. Dex broke us out with his spaceship. Little green guy came, kicked the windows in, kicked the bars down, and rescued us from Biden's prison for patriots. And we're here. This show's already off the rails. We haven't even started anything. So anyway, we're here. It's Dex's Bull Panel. This is Frank from PulseWaveTrading.com. We've got Will, HK Trader. We've got Ray America. And, of course, we've got our main dude, the Algo Capitalist, is always here in the chair.
What up?
What's going down? So how are you guys tonight? I missed you all dearly. It's great to be back together after a few holiday weeks and snow weeks off.
Yeah, this is like the first real week back, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, how do you get a snow day when you're doing an online podcast? But apparently Dex had a snow apocalypse and couldn't even get his data together and stuff because of the power outages. So.
Yeah, we had the power go out, and then when the power came back on, then the internet went out. So we just couldn't win.
They had to use they had to unplug the internet to get the power back on.
Exactly.
Joe Biden's generator can only have one or the other in it. It's like my generator that you can't have the refrigerator and the AC in it. You have to pick one. That's how Biden's America. He's like, well, guys, we could have the internet. This is my Biden impersonation, apparently. We could have the internet or we can have electricity. All right, I'll stop.
Can't have both.
Dex, what are we looking at, man? What's top of the radar tonight in terms of the charts? We were talking about Bitcoin a minute ago. You guys want to start there?
Yeah, for the next several weeks, the most important charts to look at, and this may be for the next couple of months. I know the first quarter of the year, these 9 securities are going to be the most important thing to talk about, and that's bonds, the US dollar, soybeans, Bitcoin, gold, silver, the NASDAQ 100, crude oil, and the Russell My Hustle. Those are your 9 charts for 2022. They're going to be in the news every freaking day, and they're going to have a lot to say about those particular markets because so much is going on right now, and none of it is good news.
It's difficult.
Starting off with your bonds. All right, we'll start with the bonds since that's the main leader right now. Everyone's talking about these yields, yield this and yield that. Everyone is scared to death, shook to death because of inflation. Well, if you look at the chart here, this is the TLT, this is the ticker, the long bond ETF. As you know, the inverse relationship between bond prices and yields, aka interest rates, is how that works. So the lower the bond price, the higher the interest rates will move, and vice versa. Well, so far on the weekly chart, the market is trying to put in a bottom of which to build a case for rallying into next week. So right now, bond prices are still under pressure, right? So your interest rates are going to be high, but they're trying to get a reprieve put in for the next couple of weeks if the market can close satisfactory this week. If this fails, then we're going to have another week of higher interest rates coming. At this point, they're already talking about runaway inflation coming upon us. Not hyperinflation, but an inflationary situation where they can't really control it. And that's that's the fear factor that's been in the markets. Historically, there has been an inverse relationship between bond prices and stock prices as well. On days where the bonds are strong, that would normally show that stocks are weaker. But so far, what we have here is that happening on the daily chart of your TLT, the bonds here. we rallied today enough to give us a rally alert buy signal for tomorrow's trading. All right. So today, as you know, the stock market got kicked around. I'll show you that real quick with this NASDAQ 100. And the NASDAQ has been this chart that's been messing people up. But on this weekly chart that I'm showing you right here, let's be 100% clear. Do you see anything bearish on this chart? No, you do not.
Nah, man.
No.
You're in the green zone on the weekly, right? And coming into this week, you still had all this bullish momentum still built in the market. So far this week, though, the market is trying to start a full-blown correction in the NASDAQ 100. We need to watch this weekly bar. Watch what happens with the price this week, because it could be setting up for a real correction. We haven't seen a correction yet. We've seen nothing. This is nothing. All right. This is still a bull market. Now, yeah, you had sideways grinding. You started on the week of November the 26th, where the market moved sideways for the remainder of the year. We finished the year on this bar here sideways. The market went absolutely nowhere. And then now, so far this week, we have a bearish pointer. And if the market continues in this way, this bearish pointer will be setting up, you know what, the correction. When you do see a correction in the market, you won't have to think about it. You won't even need to listen to the TV to tell you, because you'll fall below the trend line support on the weekly, and it will look very nasty. When this does start, I have to warn you guys, because the market has gone up for years straight with no real correction. When it happens, and when it does happen, you can expect the NASDAQ 100 to possibly drop down below 10,000 right here. Now, let that sink in for just a little bit. I'm talking about a 5,000 point move coming to the downside in your tech.
Yay.
That's right. This is what the market is trying to set you up for. Hasn't happened yet. This is just so far being the market putting in a spot for you for a buying opportunity, like you did back here on this bar here, and like you did back here on this bar here, and like you did on this bar here, and you did it again on this bar here. That's what the market is trying to put in, a buying opportunity. But if this fails and we put in a correction bar for this week, Katie bar the door. It's going to get pretty nasty to the downside. Now you may think, well, hey, I got my gold and silver. Let the inflation go hyper. I don't care. You should care. Look at your weekly chart of your gold prices. We have been sideways in the gold going all the way back to the week of May the 22nd of 2020. That's right. For 2 years, gold has gone absolutely nowhere. The trading range on this one was 1720 to 1770. Where did we end the year last year? We ended it at 1797. You have gone nowhere. Gold only moved $20 in 2 years. That's crazy. But that's commodities for you.
Wow.
All right. See, people can talk, but what about the chart? Oh, this is about to happen. Get ready. No, this is what's happening. And until something does happen, nothing's happening. And this is your gold chart on a weekly basis, going back 2 years. Well, okay, fine. Well, maybe it's not gold. What about silver, huh? Silver's ready to go to the moon. Is it? Well, here's a weekly chart of your silver. I don't see the moon. I don't even see you leaving orbit of the planet Earth. You've been sideways here since the week of September the 25th of 2020. Trading range $21.96 on the bottom, and on the top, $26.33. We closed the year out 2021 at $22.39. You went nowhere. If you bought silver on that particular week in 2020 and waited until today saying, I need to cash this money out, I need it to grow because in 2 years I got to take this money out. Well, guess what? If you needed to take that money out today, you will have no capital appreciation. Your money has gone nowhere if you've been long gold and silver since the week of September of 2020. The reason for that is because it's acting like a commodity. How is it acting like a commodity? Well, because the US dollar determines the price and direction of commodities. The US dollar spent the majority of the year, especially in the fourth quarter, going up, 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 and away. That's it. As long as this US dollar is strong, commodity prices will be under pressure. And then right here, we ended the year out with the market still sideways overall, but with a bearish bent to it. And so far this year, that has not changed. All right. But you're in the green zone and all you're doing is just pulling back. This is just a pullback. It's not a correction. The dollar has not yet started correcting. You can see that on the chart. So again, talk is big, and the people have been sold a bill of goods. They've been telling you, I know for a fact, I got an inside man telling me gold and silver is about to just go ballistic. Oh, I got an inside man telling me that Bitcoin is about to go to $2 billion. Well, you see the pulse waves, you see the algo charts, and I've been telling you the opposite. All right. Now, don't get me wrong. Eventually, and I do say eventually, Bitcoin will get there. Bitcoin will be more precious than precious metals. There is forces at work that is looking to make your precious metals worthless, or at least appear to be worthless. And when you compare them to what's going to happen in the crypto space, you will understand real fast that cryptos are going to outperform precious metals within the next 10 years. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
It's the way of the world. I'm not saying sell your gold and silver. I didn't say that. I said that the crypto market is going to outperform gold and silver to the point where it would make it pointless to consider putting money into it and buying more. You will make a ton of money putting money to work in the crypto market. And you'll see what I mean as time goes on. Now, I see you, Ray. You said, does the COMEX do Yellowstone futures contracts looking to that would be funny. That would be funny, man. If it did, wow, we would all be billionaires, right? But yeah, man, this is just a situation. You said, how do I pop my way through the earthquake scenario? Well, popping your way through the market is what you do every time you put a trade on, regardless. Doesn't matter if you're buying soybeans or you're buying, Japanese yen. Doesn't matter what you're trading. You're always going to pop your way through it. And whatever happens, just happens. We have no control over what happens in the world. The only thing that we can manage is our open positions in the markets. That's what we can do. We can manage our open positions. But as far as the outcomes, we have no control over outcome. That's up to the Most High himself, Go ahead.
We were gonna wrap up soon, unless you had something else you wanted to do. I wanted to give the guys a chance just to tell us what they're looking at this week, and then we can close it up with you, Dex.
All right, I'll go ahead. My eyes for the time being are going to be on the TNX and the DXY. The way I see it, as long as those two remain in a bullish complexion, then everything else is going to kind of struggle. It's going to trade sideways or downward. I think the Fed has the market spooked right now, thinking that they're actually going to raise rates and taper like they've been talking, and the market's pricing that in. Now, if they actually do that, I don't think that they'll do anything meaningful. They might raise it a quarter of a point or something like that, but I don't think that they're in any position to do any kind of meaningful rate hike. And so I don't know that any kind of rate hike would actually have any effect on the market since it's already being priced in.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's what my eyes on right now is the TNX and the DXY.
Cool. Well, what are you looking at this week? What do you wait? What part of the end of the world are you waiting for this week? What chapter of the Book of Revelation are you waiting for?
Well, I want to give some good news to the Bitcoins or cryptos long-term guys. Okay, I think I saw a first round of short covering today. So would I go long? Not yet, but I think we are very close to a bottom for Bitcoins. So this is one of the things that I looked at it. And second, yeah, I think I would act on what Kramer has said. I think the Fed's going to be out of bullets, and they're going to reverse course, and they're going to do money printing instead of rate hiking. So by doing so, I think the commodity sectors will go way, way higher. I mean, talk about the super cycle. So that means it coincides with the bonds and also with the DXY. You know, when DXY crashing, that means it's good for commodities. So that's I'm looking at right now this week.
Cool.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
To Joe Boogaloo's question or comment about thinking metals would save us. Metals is better than nothing, right? it's an anti-debt unit. It's something you can hold. It's a way that you can be your own central bank, basically. It's something that's not attached to the system. There's no counterparty risk. So metals in your hand are never a bad thing.
Yeah.
At least the way I see it.
Well, let the derivative prices go to zero or negative, just like last year with oil, right? Negative 35.
Yeah, I'm a buyer of silver at negative 35.
All right, so
absolutely, absolutely.
If it's negative 30, so everyone would watch the.
Where can I go to get that? Let me know. Drop a link.
So the point is, metals or even commodities would still be way to save you, even though the price looks, not as great what it's supposed to be, but those guys, they don't want you to buy them. Yeah. When the system reset.
Yeah, it's a good way to insulate yourself from calamity in the debt market.
Bingo.
Yeah, good point.
Yep.
Cool. Dex, closing thought for tonight, or another chart you want to look at, or something like that?
I think we covered it on the charts, but I like dude's question right here about gaming tokens. You talking about all this NFT stuff talk I've been hearing about?
Metaverse stuff.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a while before that takes on, if it even takes on. Right now, no, I don't think it's going the way that they would like it to go. I think it's going to go a whole nother way. Sometimes these technologies and business plans and models are intended to go one way and do one thing. And then as they're going along, they realize, oh my goodness, this had a whole nother application we didn't even think of. Let's go this way instead. Case in point, VHS tapes versus Betamax tapes. All right, the beta tapes were way better than the VHS tapes, but the VHS tapes had the political people in their back pocket, and so beta went out and VHS won. But beta was the better product. So same thing. I think that, this whole metaverse thing, it sounds cool and neat, but it's going to be a long time if they are able to carry out the business model that they have. That's going to take a lot. And there are too many headwinds right now going against them moving in that direction. There are other agendas right now that are taking place that are put way ahead of that. And so I think what will end up happening is they'll say, hey, we're going to go this direction. And you'll see what I mean. As time goes on, it'll make more sense. You'll just keep watching it and you'll see what I mean. But right now, nah, it's a baby. This metaverse thing is Bitcoin in 2011. It's only trading at about 10 cents, 11 cents. Now, back then, it was a leap of faith. Who knew that Bitcoin would be trading at $40,000, $50,000 today? No one knew that for certain. So anyone who did put money with it back then it was a gamble. And I think that's what your metaverse is right now. It sounds cool, looks cool, but in all practicality, how is it going to be utilized? And how widely utilized do they really think it can get? Just because Facebook or whoever is behind it doesn't mean it will succeed. Look at Kodak. Eventually, Kodak got just destroyed by the digital era. Digital cameras destroyed Kodak. All right. Blockbuster got destroyed by Netflix. So just because a big company, Fortune 500 company, is behind something doesn't guarantee its success. But it doesn't guarantee that it's going to catch on with the general public.
All right. Cool. With that, we're out for today. We'll be back this week, probably tomorrow, right, Dex? With our live hangouts. We'll let you know. We'll send out an alert.
Yeah.
Soon.
I'll have to dedicate some more time into it. So the jury's still out for me on it. I'll have to look into it some more. And I'll say this to you guys with these tokens and stuff. Remember too, liquidity is extremely important. If you can't, it's going to have to be like all the other cryptos. It's going to have to be easily accessible on the best exchanges and things like that. Like if I wanted to trade Bitcoin right now, I could go to some of the baddest exchanges on the planet and put in all types of wild special orders and everything else. Can I do that with a gaming token? See what I'm saying? So I don't know. You guys, do y'all have an opinion on it? You may know more about it than I do.
All right, cool. Okay, with that, we're over. We're out. We'll be back soon. You guys have a great night. It's great to see you guys.
Likewise.
We're out.
Peace.